Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss.
Oh, hell no.
Hi guys, it's Yanni and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the recent interview that was conducted on The Breakfast Club, and Flame Monroe came onto the show to do an interview, and the topic of discussion was the trans community and his perspective. To me, it was a very sensible conversation because it was a different perspective and it was a respectable type of interview because I didn't feel like we were being force-fed an ideology. I felt like he just gave his perspective and his way of living his life and his lifestyle, and it was respectable because he didn't try to force his views and his opinions on anyone. He is living his life according to how he wants to live his life, and it was honorable, it was respectable, and I really enjoyed the interview. Now, the reason why he was on The Breakfast Club was because he recently had a special on Netflix that was presented by Tiffany Haddish, and so his comedy was what got him onto The Breakfast Club interview. I really enjoyed the special. I actually ended up watching the special like maybe a month or so ago, and I really enjoyed it. He really stuck out to me because when it comes to this conversation, for it to be sensible and for it to not be so sensitive, we do need humor and comedy when it comes to this conversation because it can be very intense. It can be very, very intense, and it was just a breath of fresh air to have someone kind of bridge that gap and bring humor to such a sensitive and serious topic.
So what would your identity be? What would you?
I just
He, she. I know, but I'm talking about like the technical,
ain't no
politically correct terms like bisexual,
what is politically
transgender.
correct? This is what it is right here.
Talk to me.
All of these labels and titles, you can identify as a blue orange cow, a pink moon, and a green. When you
Green
get into
clover.
bed with somebody, do you want some penis or some vagina? Because they ain't got nothing else. I've been around the world 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
If they got some other shit and I ain't had it, I feel cheated.
Now, what if there's somebody that just want butthole?
Everybody got an asshole.
That's what I'm saying. But what if
everybody
that's
has
all
one.
they want?
That's not a gender. That's not a sexual organ.
Yeah.
That is your butthole. That's
Yeah.
you. But everybody has a gender, a penis or a vagina.
So that was, to me, was the main reason I felt like the interview was sensible, because he basically spoke in terms of what most of us already believe in. We believe in male versus female. If you're born a male, then you have a penis. If you're born a woman, then you have a vagina. So he spoke logic because that's what a lot of us believe in, because that's what we grew up believing in. So he didn't come on The Breakfast Club shouting out his own ideology on what gender is. He said at the end of the day, when you get into bed with someone, do you have a vagina or do you have a penis? And to me, that was sensible because it was logic, in my opinion, because we already have our own beliefs based off of the system that we grew up in believing in. So it was respectable how he broke it down in simpler terms. So let's go ahead and tune in to see what he had to say regarding the Breakfast Club interview that was done with Malik Yoba.
Yeah.
I thought that interview was the most confusing shit that I've ever seen in my whole life. And
Why is
I'm
that?
part of the LGBT, ABCDFG, PTSD community. I am, because we want all the goddamn alphabets. But
Flame, you
the world
crazy.
is not going to see us until we see us. And that's just real talk. Malik, all that he was talking, he loves a woman, a beautiful woman with a penis. I'm a whole ass man up under this wig. Ain't no women with penises. There just is that was, and I was shocked at you. Let me just say, let me put you on blast, because you go hard on everybody. You should have towed into that nigga's ass.
That's not what I wanted. You know what?
Obviously, you didn't do. Oh, you or Angela.
You know what tear to his ass?
Well, I don't mean in that aspect. You know what I mean? But the questions that he was coming at, it sounded so far-fetched. And all y'all was sitting here looking like a dog when you talking to him.
I felt the same way you felt. I was confused as shit. Even when he asked me, he said, are you straight? And I'm like, yeah, but I know you about to tell me I'm not. You about to tell me some other shit.
Ain't no, let me, my trans sisters. I love you, trans sisters, before I say this. All that shit about I'm trans attracted, there are beautiful women born in the world. This sister here, beautiful women, already made. So all that I'm attracted to a beautiful woman, not the sexual organ. Nigga, the lies you tell. The men who are attracted to trans women feel like the bigger you are, the bigger you are. They're not attracted to us because we're beautiful women with breasts. In their mentality, they feel like I'm not with a man because you got all the feminine parts, but you still got that tool that I need. That's just real of it. And I know some of my sisters going to be upset with me, but bitch, y'all ain't going to do shit.
See, that's why.
Again, him or he, we, she, whatever you want to call him speaking sensible yet again. So when I watched the show Pose, I watched the show because I was trying to learn more about trans people, and I was trying to understand trans people and the struggles that they go through by being trans. And Electra, she had the character where she actually went through with a sex change, and the man that was considered to be, I guess, like her sugar daddy, no longer found her desirable after she went through with the sex change. And see, he spoke logic within this interview because the reality of it is these men who seek trans women like Malik Yoba, it is a fetish. The number one thing that they like is the fact that you have that tool in between your legs. And that's what was so sensible about the interview, was that at the end of the day, it really comes down to that. Like, yes, as a trans woman, they like that you take on a more feminine role and you dress more like a woman. But when it comes down to it, they want what's between your legs. They want that tool that's between your legs. So it was a sensible conversation when it comes to Flame, because he understands that that's what a lot of these men that claim to be trans attracted, Malik Yoba, he wouldn't be trans attracted if that trans woman didn't have what's between her leg. So, or what's between her legs. So with Flame, it was like a breath of fresh air, you guys, for him to get up there and have a sensible conversation about this whole trans attracted and how she feels about Malik Yoba in this entire situation. So it was just like, finally someone understands why I'm confused on Malik Yoba and his whole intent behind why he's going so hard for trans women.
I didn't learn how to be a girl from watching a boy. I learned how to be a girl from watching a woman. My mother, my aunties, my grandmother.
That's real.
That's how we learned how to be girls. So first of all, let's give the respect back to the women. We are female impersonators. I'm never going to be a woman. Even if I get a SRS, I still wouldn't be a woman. It's not going to bleed. I still have to have electrolysis in it before I even get it. I'm not going to have any children. And you still got to lube it up. It kind of defeats the purpose.
This was another part of the interview that I really enjoyed, because finally it seems like he understands where bio women are coming from. We don't have an issue with trans women wanting to be identified as a woman. It's the fact that some of them actually believe that by impersonating a woman makes them a woman. And it's a slap in the face to bio women, because trans women, logically speaking, they don't have the internal organs of a woman, so they don't go through the same struggles as a bio woman. And it's a slap in the face when they try to compare their struggles to a bio woman when they don't have the internal organs of a bio woman. So it was just a breath of fresh air. It's not that we don't want trans women to be women. It's just the fact that do it in a respectable way, to where you're not canceling out what we go through and our struggles as bio women just to say, hey, make room for me, and the hell with what you go through. It's all about me, because I impersonate what being a woman is.
The world is not going to see us. We keep asking for inclusion. And if you force feed anything on anyone, you make them hate it. The gay community, my community, we are forcing, take us, see us, accept us, let us be with you. You don't need to get down with my lifestyle. That don't mean I can't be your neighbor. I can live next door to this nigga. I ain't got to go to his house for barbecue. He probably don't season his food right anyway. I ain't got to go to his house for barbecue, but we can coexist in the same neighborhood if I stop trying to put my lifestyle to make him accept what I am. I don't ask him what he doing. My business ain't his business. His business ain't my business. But that ain't what we want.
Now, when it comes to the force feeding conversation, I believe that there is a thin line between force feeding and wanting to be represented. So I understand where Flame is coming from, because in the original interview with Malik Yoba, it was force feeding. You know, it was force feeding a belief. It was force feeding a lifestyle. It was like, oh, we have to accept their lifestyle. But we really don't. Like, I don't have to accept your lifestyle, but I can still respect you as a individual, as a person. You can be my neighbor and I still don't have to agree with how you live your life. And with that, I think that's what Flame was really referring to, is that sometimes when it comes to the trans community, they want to force feed their lifestyle onto us and we have to accept it, or else we're transphobic. And it's like, I don't have to accept your beliefs. I don't have to accept your ideologies. I don't have to accept your religions. I don't have to accept anything. And I can still respect you as a person. Just because we don't have the same beliefs doesn't mean you don't deserve my respect. It's just, we live differently. We live different lifestyles. So the force feeding, I get where Flame is coming from, but there is a thin line between force feeding and just simply wanting to be represented. So on the other side, when it comes to trans people, some of them just want to simply be represented. They want to see their lifestyle on TV. They want to see their way or their belief systems through media, through magazines. Like, they want to be represented. So in that aspect, I understand where they're coming from, but it's the force feeding of ideologies, beliefs, that's the issue. That's why a lot of people don't want to listen, because you're trying to make me believe in your lifestyle, and maybe I just didn't grow up that way. Maybe I just didn't have the same experiences as you. Doesn't mean I don't respect you, but there is a thin line between wanting to be represented and wanting to be force fed. So I was watching the video by Funky Diva, and he explained, his version of force feeding and how he doesn't agree with what Flame had to say. But I really feel that there's just a gap, and the thin line is just force feeding versus being represented. There is a difference.
I think the issue that I have with Flame's argument about us forcing our lifestyle on people is the simple fact that we don't live in a world where they're allowing us to be their neighbor. That's the whole point. If people were allowing us to just simply be their neighbor without excluding us, bothering us, or banning us for being gay, straight, gay, bi, trans, lesbian, or anything in between, then this would be a non-argument. Secondly, it bothers me that Flame used trigger words and language that fed into a narrative that these people are trying to create, this whole forcing of a lifestyle onto them. Somebody please answer me this. What does that mean? Okay? I am a gay person. I have not seen representation. I'm 36 years old. I have not seen representations of people like me in the media, magazines, until later on in my life.
I agree with Funky Diva. 100%. Seeing that I'm a Black woman, being represented is something that I fight hard for as well. So I agree with him. However, there is a thin line between force feeding and wanting to be represented. Because when it comes down to it, we can apply the same force feeding conversation when it comes to religion, when it comes to parenting skills, or how you view discipline. It can be applied in so many different ways. Some people believe in spanking their kids, some don't. But I'm not going to go outside of my home and force someone else to think, oh, you have to beat your kids, or, oh, you have to whoop your kids, because that's the only form of discipline. I'm going to do what I'm going to do with my kids, and I'm going to do what I feel is best for my lifestyle. But I'm not going to go outside of my home and go across the street as a neighbor and say, oh, you're not raising those kids right because you're not beating them. I think like that's where the force feeding comes in, is when trans the trans community, they try to force feed through their beliefs, and they try to force us to believe in what they believe. And it's like, we have our own experiences. We grew up differently. So I'm not going to always believe in what you believe. And that's part of life. That's part of what culture is all about. We believe in different things, and we live our lifestyles according to our culture and our belief systems, our values. But I do feel that there needs to be respect at the end of the tunnel for us to all be able to coexist. And so when it comes to Funky Diva, when it comes to the trans community, understand that aspect of there is a lack of respect when it comes to trans people. And that is the missing key. That is the missing component. But people don't want to listen because you guys are force feeding your beliefs onto us. So example would be me no longer being able to refer to myself as a bio woman. I have to refer to myself as a cis woman. Or you guys saying, oh, you can't say just woman, you want us to say cis woman. That's forcing your beliefs onto us. And that's what we don't like. And that's not respecting us as bio women or just bio people.
Especially when it comes to sports, right? When you see these men competing in these women's sports and dominating. I'm like, that don't seem right to me.
That's not right.
It's like you're trying to erase their existence.
Let me start some shit. That is definitely not right. And if you watch my Coffee Time blogs on YouTube, on YouTube, I always say that's just a man beating a woman's ass for free. That is. Because you can change, you still born a male, we still physically stronger. You can take hormones for 2 years. I could be hormoned out, pickled, I still won't have my penis, I'm still gonna have testosterone running through my body. It's just not, like we always say, we want inclusion, then create a lane for Olympics. Create a whole thing for trannies to compete and do whatever they want to do. But stop putting these men against these women.
Again, a sensible conversation. And it was just the honest truth when it comes to trans women in sports. They are at an advantage when it comes to muscle recovery, muscle development, endurance. So it was him speaking logic, him speaking on the reality of science and biology, regardless of how you want to identify outside of science and outside of biology. At the end of the day, you're still an advantage when it comes to trans women in sports, and you as a trans woman competing against bio women, you are put at an advantage, and it's not fair. It takes away the rights of bio women when you compete against us in sports. So that's all that I have regarding this video, you guys. Please comment your opinions and your thoughts down below, respectfully, please. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so that you're notified when I upload, and I'll catch you in my next one.